On your initial login, you'll enter your driver ID and password and then click on Sign In. It will take you to this screen, which will be retrieving your logs, and then it will say that they were not able to be retrieved. You'll need to click on Request Logs again, that first time through only. For whatever reason, it's not able to retrieve them on the first process most of the time. After that, it will go about retrieving your logs. Once they have been retrieved, you will click on the OK button.
So we'll say OK. And just like all the other times you log in, it doesn't have any idea what duty status you're on. So we're going to have to give you a duty status. So we'll hit this right away. And even though you're on the new version and later on you'll see 7 boxes here, the first time when you log in after being logged out, you'll only have the 5, and we're going to put you off duty right away. And it has a problem with the GPS. We may be too close to the building, so that's why it's asking for our location. Otherwise, it should self-populate. So we'll tell them we're at the Sioux Falls yard. And I abbreviate here as much as possible. As long as we use the same abbreviation, we should be okay. Sioux Falls yard, where's D? There we go. And then it'll ask for a state. And we can't put in confusion. We actually have to put in South Dakota or wherever you happen to be at that time. And unless you've changed trucks, most of the time it'll put you right back into your own unit. Now, to finish up with the first initial login, it's going to ask you if you've got a load on at this time. Right now we're in bobtail mode, so we're going to enter the shipping information as BT for bobtail.
This is where you would normally put your K&J trip number.
Correct. And done. And now it's populated that over there to the other side. So when you get a true K&J trip number, you'll put in 02, you'll touch this, and you'll put in your K&J trip number. And then it will populate over here underneath. Then you will subtract the one that's there and hit remove, and it disappears on you. And that's how you update your load on your logbook.
When you enter your information for shipping on the right side and then click on the Done button, it moves it to the left side, which is your active shipments. Make sure you don't have more than one over there so that it doesn't show up in your logbook as more than one shipment at a time. Then you'll click the Next button on the bottom corner. That will move it onto your logbook.
And now we have to go in here to the options because there is an alert here. There's a gold corner taken out telling us that we have to look at something. So if we hit options, we can see that it tells us we have to review our logs. This is the first and the only time that you should have to go in and certify your logs 7 times. You'll have to put your password in, okay? So we'll do this here.
You'll click on Enter Password, enter your current password, then click Agree. Once you have completed the required certifications of your logs, you'll notice that the orange corner on the Options button will disappear. You can click on the Log button on the bottom right corner, and you'll notice that on this screen as well, there is no longer any certification button next to the Add button, which is how you know that you're done certifying logs.
Now that we're done certifying the logs, you can see that Gene has 8 hours of drive time before his 30-minute break. But that can be misleading because Gene actually has more hours than that. So if we hit this drop down over here, you can see that his cycle clock, he's got 11 hours and 44 minutes in there. His work shift today is he's got 14 hours. He's got 8 hours before his 30-minute break, but he's got 11 hours of driving available. So just because this green hoop shows 8 doesn't mean that's all the driving time that you've got. It's always going to monitor the shortest clock. So is your shortest clock what's left of your 14, what's left of your 11, or your 8-hour break before you got to take a 30-minute break or take a qualifying time off.
This is a great example of what it looks like when your available drive time is ticking down, but you've not yet started your 11-hour driving clock. If you look at the main part of that screen, it says 7 hours and 39 minutes, but when you click on the full menu, you can see that he actually still has 11 hours of drive time available. So he has not yet started his 11-hour driving. He has just started his 14-hour clock, and so in about 7 hours and 39 minutes, he would need to take his 30-minute break, which is why that says 7 hours and 38 minutes. Once you click that drop-down arrow that Jennifer is pointing to, you can see on his work shift driving, he still has 11 hours available just as before.
One of the other drivers had given a suggestion that when you're driving to go get fuel, they said to go to yard move. So that puts us to on duty, start your clock, and then put in there that you're going to do your fueling. Whoops. And then your pre-trip inspection. And that allows you to drive more than 5 miles an hour. You can go to 20, and then it'll also show that during that time that you did the yard move when you were going to do your fueling and your pre-trip inspection, that allowed you to get in and out of that fuel island quicker so you can get out everybody else's way. And again, that's still going to be on duty, so it does take from your 70 and your 14, but it does not take from your 11 hours of driving that day. Hit logs, and we're going to go to events, and it's going to list all of the things that we've done. And if we go to the bottom, you can see that we did an inspection up here, and then we did some fueling. So if we tap on inspection, or tap on that line that says inspection, you'll get the opportunity to edit that or annotate it. So we're going to annotate that. So we're going to say pre-trip PTI. And if you guys want to use PTI, meaning pre-trip inspection and post-trip inspection, that's fine. PTI stands for both. And then state that all was okay. Where's the O? Okay. Submit. There we go. And now that verbiage I just put on there will appear on that line. So you can come back later and update it if you want to get away from the fuel island so you can make room for other folks.